Welcome all. Today in this session, we are going to discuss about the predefined new functional interfaces in Java 8 onwards. So first interface which we are going to discuss, that is called consumer. So consumer, you can say it is a functional interface which represents an operation that accepts a single input argument and it returns no result here. So for example, here you can see that I have created a consumer a functional interface named display, and it is taking input as a string, and it is not returning anything, just printing the welcome plus given string. So let me show you with the help of a practical example here. So let me create how we can do it. Consumers, consumer. So consumer, and you can see the packages Java util function here. So here, whatever input parameter you want to take for your function interface, you can take it. It can be any data type. So currently I'm taking the example of a string here. Now you can give any name here. So let me take the same example display here. So I'm just giving the name display display, and you know that what is the way of writing the lambda expression is that here you can say write the input parameter variable here. I'm writing str, and then you make this syntax, and after that whatever you want to make a coding, you can make it here. So I'm just writing uh, whatever you can say that hello, and whatever string the person will pass, so it will return hello and whatever string you are passing here. So this is the syntax here. As I told you in my previous video, that if you want to write your code in multiple lines, what you can do, you can simply wrap this part in a you can say curly bracket in this way, and in this way what you can do, you can write your multiple line of code. So this is the proper syntax for that, this one. Okay, but if you are writing a single line of code, then you don't need to write this line in this way. You can simply write in single line here. So this is my consumer function interface. How we can call it? Display by display. This is the, you can say, display your function interface instance here, and we are using a function that is called accept. So accept is a function which is available in here, and here you can pass the parameter. So let me pass the parameter Pradeep here. So now you can say, let me run it. So this is the, you can say, declaration of my functional, declaration and implementation of my functional interface consumer. And here I'm calling it. Now let me run it. So here you can see that in my console, it is printing hello Pradeep here. Okay. So if you want, you can give the space here so that it can display properly. Okay, so this is consumer function interface, which takes single input as a argument, and it returns nothing. So that's why you can say whatever input you want to take, you can pass it here, and you can declare it here, and then this is a argument, and here you're writing the implementation here. Now second interface, function interface we are talking, that is called by consumer. So only the differences between the consumer and by consumer is that by consumer, you can say it represents an operation that accepts, instead of one, it takes two input arguments and return no result. So same thing you can say that we can do it here. Currently in my you can say it is a single consumer, so let me make it by consumer. So whenever you are making it a by consumer, so let me call this Java util function, and it takes two parameters. So I'm just taking the two parameter here, string, and now you can see here I'm just giving a name here. So for example, complete name. So you can, whatever is instance name you want to give, you can give it here, and after that you can say that here you declare that it will take two input arguments here, and the syntax of the lambda expression is that here you will write str1 comma str2, because we are using two parameters here. And what I will do here, I will print str1. Whatever implementation you want to write, you can write it here. So I will do one thing. I'm just writing the concatenation of the string 1 and string 2 here. So now after that, I will do simply one thing, same thing here. Let me call the function. This is my functional interface instance, and I'm calling the function accept here. So accept is a function which is taking two parameters. So I'm passing Pradeep, and second parameter I'm passing, that is called Nailwal here. Nailwal. So now let me run it. So you will see what it will do. It is taking two input, two string here. So that's why I'm passing in the accept function Pradeep Nailwal. And the implementation is that it is going to write str1 space str2. That is the, you can say, complete name. So let me run it. Here it is working fine here. Okay, so wherever you have a need to take two input parameters, and you want to you can say work on that, then you can use by consumer here. So now we are moving to the third function interface, that is called supplier. So supplier function interface, you can say it represents an operation that do not accept any argument. So it is used when you don't want to give any input argument, but it presents a result here. So sometimes happen that you don't want to pass any argument, but you want to return any type of result here. So in that case, supplier is very useful. So here I will show you that you can use this one. So let me write the code for that. So simple, I will write supplier. You can say supplier here, and this one the supplier, supplier supplier. So this is the Java util function here, and here I told you. So I'm just taking the example of double. You can take any example. So I'm just taking the example, and the name of my functional interface instance here, random number here. So it depends that I'm taking the, you can say I'm taking the you can say the random number which I will return, that is called double. So a random number type of double here. So here in the supply you are giving the written type here because it do not take any input here. So now here I will write the implementation. Simply what I will write, I will simply write math dot random. So we have a random function here. So you can say this is the syntax for that, and here I can write, here I can write simple. Here I can write the, because it is not taking the any input argument. So I will make it blank and then this one, and now it will return this one. So now I'm going to call this function. So simply you can say random number dot, or you can say the function is get. So the purpose that it will return a, you can say random number here. So return type is random. So we can do one thing, we can store it in a variable here, or if you want I can pass this argument in a this calling in a SOP. Okay, so let me run it here and you will see that it will return a random number which I'm going to print it here. So whenever you want to return any output, but you don't want to give any input, in that case, supplier is used. Supplier is used to only, you can say, produce the value. Okay, this is supplier. Now we'll move to the next function interface, that is called predicate. Now the purpose of predicate function interface is that it represents an operation which accept a single input argument and returns Boolean value. So whenever you want to, you can say give a single input argument and the return type should be Boolean. In that case, predicate is a best example here. So now let me show you the example for that. So for that purpose, I will take predicate. Okay, so in the predicate, I'm calling it here. And now let me take the example of CHARACTER. So character I'm giving because I'm just thinking about taking an input parameter as a character. So here I'm writing and giving the name is number. So with the help of, as I told you, that the purpose of predicate is that it takes single input argument and return the Boolean value. So my input argument will be a character. So I'm writing here, and here I'm declaring the variable ch simple. And now let me write this one, and I will do one thing. I will simply write ch dot, I will say ch, I have written it here, ch, not character character dot why we are not in getting here, character dot it digit function should be there. So I'm not getting here. Let me check. This one ch is there, and now character dot, why it is not taking, why it is not taking. Let me write the return, or I can do one thing. It is single parameter. I don't think so. This should get a problem, but still. Okay, I have not import this one. That's why it is giving the problem. Import Java util predicate function, and then I can write simply this one thing. It was giving the problem because I was using this one. Now is digit here. Okay, that was the problem here. Is digit, and whatever character I'm passing, I'm using it here. Okay, now you can see that I'm going to call this function. I'm going to call this is number predicate. So again, I'm telling you the purpose of predicate is that it takes any input and the return will always be a boolean. So here the purpose of this function interface I'm using so that I will check that the given character is a number or not. Okay, now I will do one thing. I'm going to call it here. So I will call it at the same time I will call the function interface in a SOP so that it will you can say print the result is number dot, and the name of the function which is going to use, that is called test here. Okay, so test function will be applied as a function interface method. Here I will pass a single character. For example, I will say 7. So now let me run and see that what is the answer here. So it is giving true here. Now let me, instead of that, let me write a here, and now let me run it here. So you can see it is giving false here. So this is working fine. Okay, so it means the purpose of predicate is that whenever you want to give a single argument as a input and you want to return the Boolean one, then you can use it. Now we will move to the next function interface, that is called by predicate. By predicate is again similar to that, only the difference is that it takes, you can say it takes two input argument and it returns the Boolean. Okay, so now for that purpose I can do one thing. I can take the example of another one. So I'm just making this one by predicate, and now let me first of all import it, otherwise it will give a problem here. And now here I'm checking that is equal QUL. I'm just creating this one, and this one CH, and I'm writing two characters. Or you can say take the example. Let me take this time example, two string. You can say string and a string, and I will check that two strings are, you can say, equal or not. So I will take two parameters here, str1 comma str2. Okay, and now here I will check str1 dot equals. So you can take any example here. I'm just for the demonstration purpose, I'm taking the example of equal. Otherwise you can take any example here. Now is equal, and let me call it here in the SOP. So it will return a boolean, that's why it will print in the SOP is equal dot the function name is test, and it is taking two input parameters. So let me take the example of PRA, and second parameter I'm going to give, that is called PRA. So let me run and see that what result it is going to produce here. So you can see it is true here. Now let me take the example of, instead of PRA, RRA, and let me run it. So with the help of, you can say it is giving the false. So you can say with the help of by predicate, you can pass two input argument and it will return the Boolean one. So whenever you have a requirement where you want to pass two input argument and return should be Boolean, you can use by predicate here. Okay, so now you can see that next function interface we are going to discuss, that is called function. And function is very important. The purpose of, you can say, function interface, it represents an operation which accept a single input argument and return a single value. So whenever you want to pass one single argument at the same time you want to return some value, you can use this one. So I'm just taking the, we know that we have a string length function already available in the, you can say, in our string class, but here for the demonstration purpose I'm going to show you this thing also, that how it works here. So functional, this one functional, this is the function interface, and first parameter I'm just taking a string. So string will be my input one, and second will be the result, what type of result you want to produce it. So here I'm saying that, and here I will say that calculate length. So that's why I'm going to calculate the length. So that's why the output type I have taken the integer here. So now here I'm going to declare the, you can say, function interface. So I will say str will be my input parameter, and because it is a single parameter, so we don't need to write this one also, that is okay. And here I will write str dot, you can say, length here. So now you can see that this is my, you can say, function interface, which will take input parameter str and it will return the length. So here you can say first parameter input and second is the return type. Now I will show you that how we can call it. So we can call it calculate length, and you can say that again. I'm saying that it will return a integer, so we can print it. So for the purpose, let me do this time. I'm going to call this function first, and you can say it is the name of the function which is used, that is called apply here. And here I'm going to write, you can say god. Okay, so it will return some value. So how I can show you, I can wrap this statement in SOP, or let me do one thing, I can store in a variable alien, and after that I can print this value. So you can use the same SOP, but I have already taken the example where I'm just wrapping the calling of this function interface function in SOP. So this time I thought that I can store in a variable length, and then I can use it here. Okay, so here you can see it is going to work here. So now here you can say it is taking a string and returning the integer type. Okay, so now we are going to discuss the, you can say, another important function interface, that is called by function. As name suggests, by function interface, it takes two input argument and returns a single value. So whenever you have a need that you want to return two, you want to accept two input and you want to return one, you can use it. So the best example I can show you here, let me show bi by function. And first of all, let me import it. And here I'm especially taking the three arguments, two string are two input argument, and now third string means it is, I'm giving my return type will be the this one also. So here I will take two input arguments, so that's why I will take variable name str1 comma str2 here. And now you can do one thing, as I told you, it returns something. So I will simply do str1 plus, and let me make a space here, and I can write str2 here. So here you can see that, that's why we don't need to write the return statement here, because already it is returning one thing. So whatever you are writing, it will return. If you want, you can use the return statement before it. You can write it here return something like that, but you don't need to write it here. If you're writing, then you have to wrap rest of the things in a single bracket. Okay, otherwise it is understood that you don't need to write it. That is the benefit of functional programming, you can say. Okay, so here I'm using the function apply and write me Pradeep, and the second parameter I'm writing, that is called Nailwal. Okay, now I'm going to call it, this was the calculate length. Okay, so here actually this time I'm calling, so let me make a string variable here, and I will give the name res. So I'm going to print the result here. Okay, if you want to make it little bit good, you can give the name of instance complete name. Otherwise, calculate length, you can see that it will work, but let me make it proper. So here you can see that I have instantiated the complete name by function interface, which is taking two string input and returning the string here. So str1 str presenting the two input, and here I'm returning str plus str. So this complete is going to return the complete name. So now let me run it. So here you can see it is working fine here. If you want to make a space between these two, you can give it, and now it is working fine. So we have learned, you can say that, different type of inbuilt functional interface which were especially introduced in Java 8, and these are very much used nowadays in the, you can say, programming, especially in the automation also, because for the validation purpose, for the testing different type of test cases, these function provide inbuilt functionality. We have to just write the implementation for that. So I hope you like the video. If you have any type of comment, you can put in the comment of this video. And if you have not subscribed my channel till now, you can subscribe it. Thank you.